Hello, and welcome to Discovery Corner. I'm Claire Melvin. Pop the kettle on, pour yourself a glass of wine, maybe even put your trainers on or run a bath, and join me for another journey of discovery. Hello, and welcome to August's Discovery Corner. August is a funny month. The sun's out, mostly. You may have children, and it's peak summer holiday time. And if you're at work, it's probably quieter than normal because it's peak summer holiday time. And it feels a bit like the calm before the storm. September can be a good month to reset. There are 4 months left of the year. Kids go back to school, college, or uni, and there's still time to do those things that you said you'd do back at the start of the year. But before we get too ahead of ourselves and wish the month away and think, I need to go, I invite you to press stop, or at least pause. Maybe pour a glass of wine, make a cup of tea, or generally have a drink or of choice and focus on the theme of this month, which is just one thing. We're not doing all of the things, we're doing one thing. Now, how many times have you got to Sunday and thought, this week will be different? From Monday, I'm going to exercise more, drink less wine, maybe drink more water, not have the biscuits at work, go to bed earlier, use my phone less, be present more. Now, you may have thought you'd do one of these, or you may think you'll do them all. And Monday morning comes and you start the week well, but then your train to work is delayed. Your meeting overruns and you don't have time for lunch. The heavens open and that after work walk becomes instantly unappealing. You start scrolling on your phone and before you know it, it's after 11. You've not prepped for breakfast or lunch for the next day, and you still need a shower, and you think tomorrow. It'll be better tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and lifes. Your alarm doesn't go off. Your kids are arguing. No one took the dog out, and your good intentions disappear as you reach the biscuit tin with your morning cuppa. The guilt hits, you feel like a failure, and the hamster wheel of trying and failing spins round and round. But guess what? You're not alone, and you haven't failed. And I'm not sitting here in my little ivory tower and my perfect life, because I'm where you are, trying my best, knowing there are things that I should do, but also things I want to do. Small changes to my life that I know will make a massive difference. Eat more green things, move a bit more, sleep a bit more. But when I try and make all the changes at once, it's overwhelming and I fall back into the habits that no longer serve me. And I'm not going to call these bad habits, like I'm not going to call myself a failure, because they're part of me. It's not that I lack motivation or willpower. I don't. It's just trying to make a number of changes at once means we're constantly having to make decisions, and our subconscious mind doesn't really like us doing that. It likes to keep doing what it's always done, as that's easy and it's safe. So if we try and change multiple behaviours at once, we become overwhelmed and it's hard to push through and keep them up. However, if we change one thing, focus on it repeatedly and consistently, so it becomes a new habit, it becomes automatic, that works. It's sustainable and it means that we're more likely to stick to it. You remember the saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's true. And that's what we're doing this month. Not eating an elephant, but one thing at a time. If you're a regular listener to this podcast, or even if you're not, you may know I've been talking about perimenopause and menopause in recent episodes. And if you haven't heard them, go check them out. But once you've heard this one, don't abandon this now. Perimenopause is that bit before menopause, when your hormone levels start to fall. But not in a nice, gentle, smooth way. In a way that fluctuates. Feels a bit like a roller coaster. And I'm talking about it as I'm not only going through it myself, but I'm also training to be a menopause support coach. So I can not only educate and empower myself, but other women too. And a quick recap about perimenopause. Easy to say, or not. As estrogen falls, it impacts almost everything. Our memory, mood, sleep, energy, and concentration. It also affects how we're able to regulate our body temperature. So, hello night sweats. And if you have crazy hormones and they're making you forgetful, you're exhausted, so not always making the best food choices, and also then not always exercising and moving your body, you maybe go into another room and you can't remember why. And yes, I did that yesterday. Trying to then make a lot of changes around your health, well-being, and nutrition, whilst you know will make you feel better in the long run, it makes it even harder. You don't have the same body that you did in your 20s and 30s. You don't have the same resilience. You can no longer survive on coffee and 3 hours sleep. So it's no wonder that you can't do the things that you want to, and that's before you add a load of changes. And sometimes just getting up and dressed feels like an achievement in itself. And if we think we'd like to make some changes, it's important we understand the reasons behind them. Now, I'd love to lose some weight. I am a comfort eater and I've had an on-off battle with scales for probably most of my life. And there are definitely some aesthetic reasons behind this. I have a wardrobe full of clothes that I can't get into, and which haunt me and taunt me. But I have other reasons I'd like to be healthy. I want to be active as I continue to age. If I want to do something, I'd like to be able to do it and to be spontaneous. But there's more than that. 1 in 2 women post-menopause will have an osteoporosis fracture. And the best way to avoid that, or at least mitigate against it and reduce the risks, strength training 2 to 3 times a week. And in case you hear people banging on about lifting weights when you're menopausal, this is why. And the risk of cardiovascular disease, strokes, and even Alzheimer's rise after menopause, and being active all help with reducing that risk. In addition, keeping an eye on stress, staying hydrated, getting good sleep, and eating major food groups, they all play a part in living well as we age. So it's not just about losing weight, it's about taking care of my body, and the weight will take care of itself. And ultimately, whilst I'd love to get back onto the pretty dresses hanging up in my wardrobe, I'd like to lead a long, healthy, and active life more. But with crazy hormones making me feel like all I want to do is sleep and eat my weight in carbs, the thought of focusing on nutrition, movement, and sleep feels overwhelming and impossible. Can I do all of this at once? No. And if I try, will I be successful? Will the changes be easily adopted into my new life? Honestly, it's unlikely. So what can I do? And the answer is pick one. But how do you choose? Because that can also be overwhelming in itself. There are so many things you can do, so many things you can focus on. How do you know which one is right? Which one is right now? You could just go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hey presto, you've made your choice. You could pick something, and if that thought immediately leaves you feeling disappointed, pick something else. But neither of those are terribly scientific, and it's a guessing game, and you deserve better. So I'm going to ask 3 questions. You can press pause after each one and think about your answers. Listen to them all and think about them at the end. Pull out a notebook or a journal. Go for a walk. Think about it. Whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong answer. So question 1. What's the thing that would have the biggest ripple effect? Or slightly differently, what's the one thing that would have the biggest impact on your life? If you change this one thing, what else gets easier? What feels lighter? More manageable? What's your foundation and how can you strengthen it? Question 2. What does your body need most from you right now? This isn't what you think you should do. This isn't what someone else is doing. It's not something you've seen on TikTok or Instagram. This is the thing your body actually needs. What is it trying to tell you? And I had a realization recently that I actually probably don't eat enough food, which is ironic considering I'd like to lose a few pounds. But I don't fill it enough with what it needs, and I suspect I'm somewhat undernourished. And that's what my body is telling me. And then question 3, what can you actually do? What's achievable? So you're not looking at a dramatic transformation or a total overhaul, but what is one small, specific, achievable thing you could do this week? Not exercise more, but go for a 10-minute walk each day. Or sleep more, but go to bed at 10 o'clock every night, for example, or 10:30, 9:30, whatever time works for you. And hopefully, the one thing that you choose aligns with the three questions that I've just asked you. And for me, I've chosen sleep. And it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. I'm exhausted pretty much all of the time. I've started thinking about naps, and at weekends, I have been known to have one. And the thing with being crazy tired, I can feel my nutrition slipping. Gets to afternoon, and yes, I want to reach for the biscuit tin. I don't always, but I definitely want to. I don't feel like exercising. I go out most days for a walk. The length of my road from one end to the other is about 3 kilometres. Things like swimming, doing a weight session, they're not appealing at all when all I want to do is lie down and sleep. And I kind of think that if I feel that tired, is something like lifting weights really a good thing to be doing? So filling my cup and going out and doing stuff as well, having fun? Yeah, no thanks. That's also not appealing as I don't have the energy. And let's face it, not doing stuff anymore, it's not the way I want to live. So I have been doing some research around sleep and perimenopausal sleep, as I like to know what's going on. I want to understand why I'm waking up at 5 o'clock, desperate for the loo, thirstier than if I'd been walking for days in the Sahara, and I want to know what, if anything, I can do about it. Now, estrogen and progesterone play a role in regulating sleep. They both decline in perimenopause. Progesterone has a calming effect, and as it falls, falling asleep gets harder. Estrogen tells our body it's time to sleep. As it fluctuates and falls, sleep becomes lighter and less restorative. In the summer months, the weather can make the room feel warmer, and you're throwing a bit of anxiety and stress because you're struggling to sleep and you're tired, you're waking up early, and it's both a vicious circle and a perfect storm. Sounds awful, right? The good news, though, is that you can do something about it. And that's my focus this month. My one thing. It's the thing that would have the biggest impact. I make better food choices when I'm not tired and have the energy to move more. And also, I go out and have fun because I'm energized and I want to. And it's definitely what my body needs most right now. It's achievable. So, my one thing for August is my sleep hygiene. And this starts with the bedtime routine. And this, in turn, can be broken down even further. So, going to bed at a similar time each night. I have an alarm on my phone that goes off at 9:30 every evening. It acts as a gentle reminder to draw what I'm doing to a close and start to get ready for bed. Do I always pay attention to it? No, but it's there. And why is going to bed at a similar time important? Our bodies have a circadian rhythm, and by going to bed at different times every night, it gets confused. So, for good quality of sleep, going to bed at a similar time is one of the most effective things you can do, and it's easy. And especially when you set yourself a daily/nightly alarm. And a cool, dark, quiet room. I've talked a bit about this in previous podcasts. Your bedroom environment matters. Having a space that is solely for sleep, it's uncluttered, if possible. Having it cool as you can make it. Blackout blinds or an eye mask. Your bedroom is for sleep. And technology before bed. Don't do it. Ideally, for at least an hour before bed, but don't use your phone, computer, and TV. It's hard, I know that. But the blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, and that's the hormone that tells your brain that it's time to sleep. I generally sleep with my phone in another room, and if that isn't possible, then at least I have it in a different part of the room and I can't access it. And a big no is charging your phone under your pillow. Now, that has all the promise of the least restful night you can have, with a fire if the phone overheats for good value. So, having a warm, non caffeinated drink before bed can also be something like chamomile. I mean, personally, I can't stand it, but there are other drinks available. Warm milk, something like an Ovaltine, maybe. Whatever you enjoy, but not tea or coffee because they're caffeinated and will keep you awake. And something that tells your body the day is over and it's time to get ready for bed. or at least to slow down. Other things you can try are some aromatherapy oils or pillow mists, and I have a lavender pillow mist that I use every night. And there's a recent study on the benefits of having 2 kiwi fruits an hour before bed. Um, that's quite effective to help you get to sleep as well. Try an evening meditation and create a routine that signifies that you're starting to wind down. And for good sleep hygiene, if you can, also wake up at a similar time every day and get outside, or some fresh air and exercise every day is also important. And if you recall, I say one thing, I've listed about half a dozen, although under the banner of sleep hygiene. There is one thing though, and I'm not overhauling my nutrition and starting a gym program at the same time. Sleep is my focus. So if you think you'd like to go for sleep and all of this already feels overwhelming, break it down to just one thing. For example, going to bed at the same time every night. Do that for a month, see how it feels. You've chosen your one thing, and how do you make sure you do it past 3 days? Yep, when life lives, how do you keep it up? Well, I've got a few tips for you. Firstly, find an accountability buddy. Somehow it's worth letting someone else down. Every day, check in. I've done my thing today. Celebrate each other and yourself. And I always find it weird that I never seem to be able to be accountable to myself, but I can absolutely be accountable to somebody else. And I think as well, when you tell somebody you're going to do something, you then kind of have to do it. Number two, attack it. Attach it, sorry, don't know, attack it. Attach it to something that you already do. And this is called habit stacking. I remember a few years ago listening to a podcast by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, and he said he does exercises like squats or lunges whilst the kettle is on. So by linking your new habit to one existing one, the existing habit becomes the trigger for the new one. For me, as I go to the bathroom to clean my teeth, I take my phone out and put it into my office. Number three, track it. On your phone, on a tracker, in a notebook. We are what we repeatedly do. There's a comic, and I want to say Jerry Seinfeld, but I can't remember. And he would tick a day on his calendar every time that he wrote. And as soon as the tick started to appear, he didn't want to break the pattern. Even if he wrote rubbish, he was still writing. It's like a muscle. We get stronger when we do something repeatedly. Number four, remind yourself why it's important. I spoke earlier about wanting to lose weight, but for me, it's more important to avoid osteoporosis and to be active as I get older. So write your reason down. Put it somewhere that you'll see it every day. If you start to struggle, this is your motivation to keep going. Number five, forgive yourself if you don't do it. Don't give yourself a hard time if you stop or skip it once. Remember, it's not the falling down, it's the staying down. And yes, that's a cliche, and things tend to be cliches for a reason. So pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and get back to it. And number six, celebrate the small wins. You've decided to do one thing. Well done. Share it. You do it once. Go you. You do it every day for a week. Acknowledge and share it. Notice it. Notice yourself. You're important. Your self-care is important. Your future is important. As I like to say when I'm doing something that I don't really want to do, future you will thank present you, even if present you is not thanking present you. And these are all just really simple things to do. And sticking with the theme of the show, just pick one of them. Which one do you like the sound of most? And do that one. Don't overwhelm yourself if you're already looking for motivation. So as I start to come to the end of this episode, I want to think about September again. We're in the last month of summer, and there's this pull that we have to do all of these things ahead of the start of the next month. So we're ready. And the thought of being busy now for everything else, oh, no thank you. September will be here soon enough. And it will bring its own energy. The start of a new school year, whether or not you have kids and whether or not they're at school age. And it's a fresh promise. It's a fresh start. We have a third of the year left, and there's still so much potential. But the best way to arrive at September, feeling ready for it, is not to exhaust yourself in August doing everything. It's arriving. It's arriving. having done one thing consistently and giving yourself grace at the same time. And a habit you've been building throughout August is a more meaningful way to start than having a list of things that you want to do. And to maybe start things in September and then give up within the second week. So be gentle with yourself. Take some time out. Make memories. Have fun. Let August be the month you did one thing and did it well. Be present with your loved ones, and that may, in fact, be your one thing. Enjoy every single day. When September comes, you're ready for it. You're rested and you're good to go, and embrace it. So you've had a warm summer, and it looks as if August will be warm too. And the best thing you can do is to take the pressure off, slow down, and do just one thing. Don't think about a long list, a load of plans. Do one thing intentionally, kindly, consistently. And acknowledge yourself when you do. Be your own personal cheerleader. And if you're still not sure what your one thing is, a reminder of those 3 questions I asked earlier. What will have the biggest impact on your life? What does your body need the most? And what can and will you actually do? And I think deep down, you know the answers already. So thank you for joining me today. And I'd love to hear what your one thing is. You find me on Instagram and LinkedIn, and I'm at Claire Melvin Coaching. Drop me a DM or an email. And if you'd like some help figuring out your one thing, come talk to me. That's what I'm here for. So enjoy the rest of your summer. Stay hydrated. Rest where you can. Be present and do your one thing. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Look after yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Stay curious and keep discovering.